What's up, Nomad Nation? You've got Godfather. I am one third of your Nomad Gamers. It is Talking Tuesday. Can you believe it? We're into another freaking week. Man, I tell you what, these weeks, they're coming, they're going. Uh, Life is getting quick. So let's get through our socials. That way we can get into all this wonderful news that I found today. So if you're watching me on Facebook, thank you very much. You've found Godfather. If you're watching me on Twitch, you found Godfather09. And then Kick, you found Godfather. Now, if you want to talk to any of your Nomad gamers at any given time, go on over here. God damn it. Go over here to discord.com. Go down and search for your Nomad gamers. We don't have a lot of channels in there, so it's going to be very easy to find your Nomad gamers. Now, if you're watching me over there on TikTok, I am posting more and more. For all my followers out there, please go over to TikTok and give me a follow. And like always, with all of these, please turn on your notifications. That way, every single time that I come live at you, or any of the Nomad gamers come live at you, you are being notified. We got through all that. All right, let's get into our episode. Man, we got a lot to go over tonight. Talking Tuesday just kind of, uh, it kind of grew all on its own. And it grew all on its own in literally uh, about 5 minutes. I was doing some research for it, and I was going to pass up this subject because I'm really disheartened by it, but it's growing huge, and it's something that the Nomad gamers might want to uh, take a look see on, and it might be something that you want to take a look see on because it's going to affect some of your favorite games out there. So first and foremost, first up on our live session tonight, we're going to go check in with Santiago Cirillo. We're going to go see what that crazy son of a bitch is up to. So 8 hours ago, Santi was live. If you go on and you click on his live session, you are going to see one of two things. You are going to see Santi, or actually one of three things. You're going to see Santi being awesome, number one. Number two, you're going to see me on my personal page on there. But then number three, and more importantly, you will see that the Godfather, the page, is on there now talking to him. And I think that is what I'm going to do every day. Instead of having my name out there, I'm going to fuck with 420, but I'm going to fuck with 420 from Godfather, not from my actual government name. So I do know that Santiago is doing a lot of good things. Santiago is, but he's out there hustling, man. He's got keychains. He all about today. He was literally taking his live session and he was promoting other people. How cool is that? 90% of what I get, 90% of my attitude is because I watch Santiago during the morning. I get that motivational speech. I get that comedy. I get to see how real the struggle is for him. Now, if you would have been watching yesterday's, you would have seen that myself and Santi, 420 Wrinkles, we were clowning on Trash Can Graham, otherwise known as Michael. Dude's a hell of a good dude. He has got, I friended him on Facebook. And if he watches this, he's going to know what I did, and I'm okay with it. But I cruised his page because I wanted to get to know the man behind the actor, the man behind the wrestler. I wanted to know, is Michael somebody who I'm going to start randomly tagging on Talking Tuesday. And I'm going to tell you guys right now the answer to that question is a resounding yes. Resounding. Go over, find Michael Graham. He's a part of oh hell's bells. I had it and I missed it. Inhumane Championship Wrestling. He does a lot of good things. I cruised. I don't have him up right now. I got Santiago up right now. However, he does great things for his community. He's doing great things for what he wants to do. I saw a little bit that he is writing. I don't know if he's writing a movie, a book, a TV show. I don't know what it is. However, I'm anxiously awaiting the final project. I'm waiting for it to be completed. So you're going to start seeing a lot more of that. I'm going to start following him from God's Father's page, and that way I can bring him up, and I can act. I can start actively engaging and promoting his stuff. So there's that. I kind of went off into left field with that, and I didn't know I was going to. I didn't know that I was going to do that, but Trash Can's a good dude. Uh, go over and find Michael Graham on Facebook and follow him and start supporting him like you do with Santiago. And the only thing I wish that I had that Santi has, I wish I had 10, 11 people watching me consistently live. But I get it. Nomad Gamers have got a lot of things to do. You guys are out there killing it on games. You guys are doing your thing in the virtual presence. And I do see the numbers, and you guys are watching afterwards, and that is amazing. So thank you very much. Uh, I can't really say much more about Santi's live session on Facebook because you got to go watch them. You got to go see what's going on. He had 50 bumper stickers that said back from the dead. This man, now I told you guys, oh, it would have been a week or so back. I never asked for stars. I never asked for donations and I never asked for tips. That's not my game. And I am not going to knock somebody who does do that. And Santiago is one of them who does it because he is trying to fund other projects. He can make a lot of money and he spends it just as fast, but he doesn't spend it on himself. He spends it on the community. He spends it on his projects. And so every day he tries to get $20. Very respectable, low amount. I can get behind that. I almost gave him some money today. Uh, so he has 50 of these bumper stickers, and the man on air stopped to autograph them and number them 1 through 50. That's fucking amazing. Santiago, keep that shit up, man. I loved every minute of it. He if you go on his page, you'll see a clip from Haya Mania 2 where Santi has a little bit of in-ring stage time. I think they call those promos in the wrestling business. He cuts a hell of a one. These individuals, they look like a good family. Like they support each other, and that's all you can ask for it in the end. Let's see. What else we got going on? A day ago from Santiago, over 300 tickets sold and still selling. See you all at the premiere. Hashtag Michigan. November 1st. Heartbeat of a Drum Horse. Directed by Santiago Cirillo. Starring Mary Rose. Oh my God, I'm going to murder your last name, Mary, and I'm sorry. Hask, Tristan Welsh, Heidi K. Lohman, and the Bradford Family, written by Loretta Bradford, Faithful Studio. They got a pretty cool picture of a horse too. Uh, it's a beautiful horse, kind of scary though. Gotta look at those eyes. That some bitch is like, yeah, I can't even describe it. Fucking horror people. Ugh. All right. Looks like Santi is starting to get into more into his merch. If you want the glow in the dark, your negativity will not break me. Where have we heard that before, Nomad Nation? Order through here. Support my entrepreneur sister, Shannon Griffin. He was promoting her like crazy today. She's got a lot of amazing talents. She's doing all kinds of killer things for Santi. Go over to Santiago's page or his Facebook and go check her out. Go check her store out. You're not going to be disappointed. He actually got a goddamn Hot Wheel of his Back from the Dead Mad Max truck and Hot Wheels. That's amazing. I'm telling you, this man, he can hustle. I am going to share this. You need to go and you need to go support the people who support Santiago. There's a lot of good organizations and a lot of good companies out there that are ran by mom and pop, and that's who we need to support. We don't need to support these Walmarts. So go over there, see what you like, buy what you like. There you go. That's my plug. All right, so that's it for Santiago. That's it for Inhumane Wrestling. That is it for Scared City. That is it for Michael Trash Can Graham. We are going to get into what we do best, and that is reporting on video games, figuring out what in the bloody hell is going on. So this one made me scratch my head and kind of go, hmm. So there's going to be a new Star Trek game coming out. The Star Trek Voyager survival game will let you murder Tuvix all over again. So I don't really care that it looks a little rough. That was the headline that I was going with. I saw the trailer. The trailer's embedded. I will post this on Godfather probably tomorrow, so you can read the article and you can check it out yourself. However, here is my take on this. While I love Star Trek, I do. I love Star Trek like no other. Uh, did I forget to go into? I did. I'm a bad man. Uh, while I love Star Trek probably more than anybody else does, I have very fond feelings for Star Trek. Star Trek Online is a dud. The Star Trek Voyager reminds me a little bit of a mobile game mixed in with a little RPG and a little turn based. He's not wrong. Some of the graphics that I seen when I was checking this out looked rough, but it's a Star Trek game. I'm gonna have to try it. I don't know how I feel about it. The way they should have done this, and I talked about this about a month or two back on Talking Tuesday or Thirsty Thursday. I don't remember which one. It's getting hard to remember what came from what. Um, Star Trek Online should have been the one that took this. Star Trek Online, this should be a DLC to that. And if you remember when I was talking about Star Trek Online, I said that it needed more of a crew, more of a guild, more of a squadron, or however you want to put it. But put some way to have groups of people being able to group up and play this game, whether that be RPG or whether that be uh, like you do on Grand Theft Auto. There could honestly be a an RPG of this like 5M if somebody a lot smarter than me could do it, where you have to have patrols, where you go out exploring, where you have an academy, where you have a Starfleet command or a whatever command. And when you get into a fight, it doesn't take 20 seconds, 20 minutes to fix your vessel. It takes days or it takes hours. make it hurt to get into an armed conflict with another faction. And if you do get into an armed conflict with another faction, make it to where the boundaries change as the war progresses. That means if I'm playing the Klingon Empire and I attack Federation space, the the boundary should move further into Federation space because I am taking more Federation territory. And flip that around for the Romulans or for the Federation or for the Borg or for the Dominion, whoever, the Bajorans, whoever you want to put in there. That would be a kick ass game. That would be a game that some people would pay $15 for a month, like World of Warcraft. Make it to where they can build their own goddamn star bases. But this stuff here, it's a little cheap. It's a You could tell they kind of rushed through this because if they didn't rush through it, then the graphics would be better. The storyline would be better. All I'm seeing out of this is this game is taking the same storyline as the TV show, which Voyager ranks up there as a pretty good Star Trek TV show. Uh, but you're just rehashing the TV show. You're not doing anything else to create new canon. You're not doing anything else to have new creativity. This is old, regurgitated shit that they're just putting out there for a game. I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars, but goddamn, all we're doing is regurgitating stuff. Take the temperature of the room of the gamers. Let me know down here in the comments on any of these social medias here, and let me know what you think. Tell me, am I off my rocker? Am I in left field? Do I not know what the hell I'm talking about? Let me know. All right, so that was Star Trek. That's one of the very smaller updates that we have for tonight. The next one is City Skylines. If you guys remember City Skylines, you guys would remember that this is the game that Godfather had to put down. This is the game that was going to absolutely wreck me. This goddamn thing. I had to do something. I had to do something quick because this game here was eating up all of my time. And maybe it's the OCD in me. Everybody has a little bit. I have some. Other people have a lot of them. But when it comes right down to it, my OCD was getting in the way. I had to have the mass transit just right. I had to have the roads just right. I had to have the zones just right. And when I fucked it up, I had to restart it again. So I had to put it down. So City Skylines 2, latest region pack, heads to the Netherlands, the land of windmills, clogs, and stoop waffle, and includes new hospitals, fire stations, and hyper-realistic cemeteries. I don't know why you'd want a hyper-realistic cemetery, but if that's your gig, head on over to City Skylines 2. And I believe it is out now. All right, what else we got going on here? Oh, that helped out. Huh. All right, so this next one, I don't know what to think about this next one. I love Minecraft. I do. I don't like what they're doing to Minecraft. I don't like the fact that they keep adding in all this modern shit. Keep it simple, stupid, and you won't have a problem. The gamers have done it again. This time, building a functional chat GPT in Minecraft. But before you get too excited, it takes literally hours, that's real hours, to provide a response. You can put chat GPT in this some bitch, but we can't figure out how to put an elevator in this motherfucker. And the elevators that they got are so goddamn dangerous that OSHA alone would shut it down. Minecraft is a good game. Now, mind you, I have neglected Minecraft. I haven't played Minecraft in probably 3 months now. I think it's like 77, 78, maybe even 80 some days now. I'm going to rectify that probably next week. But I don't want to see Chat GPT or anything modern in my Minecraft. I'm going to, they have dubbed it Craft GPT. Uh, it's only about 5 million parameters. That's all the creator's poor old laptop could handle. However, translating it into into Minecraft blocks took up a considerable amount of space, featuring, get this, 439 million blocks. Blocks. That's huge. Like that some bitch is massive. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. So we all know that Battlefield 6 is coming out. If you watched the Nomad Gamers last week, you would know that Fireball talked about it. Uh, I don't think I said too much about it, and I know Zanar Crush Rider didn't say much at all about it. Details are starting to come out about it now. Season 1 roadmap finally tells us how big its Call of Duty like seasons will be. There will be 2 maps, 5 guns, modes, mods, and attachments. Seasonal updates will come in 3 phases, beginning on October 29th. When you purchase, oh, never mind. That is something for the site. It's the nature of big budget shooters these days that as soon as they're out, folks immediately start asking what's next. Seasons are still how we experience multiplayer games at the moment, and Battlefield 6 is finally sharing its roadmap details as launch approaches. Battlefield 6 Season 1 is coming October 28th, just 2 short weeks and change after its October 10th launch. And it's packing what you'd expect from an FPS challenging Call of Duty for the throne. 2 new maps, a handful of guns, a couple of mods, and an event. It even has a COD like roadmap laying out the seasonal offerings in a grid so packed you'll have to pinch your phone screen to read the details. I like that. So here's my take on this whole Call of Duty Battlefield kind of battle royale that's going on. I think Battlefield 6 is going to overtake Call of Duty. And there's a couple reasons why. And before you jump on me, hear me out. While Call of Duty has tried and failed to rein in the cheaters, they have never come right out and said, or at least not to my knowledge, I might be wrong. We're trying to do X, Y, and Z. That's why a lot of players like Fireball have stopped playing. Battlefield 6 is the new dog on the block. Battlefield 6 is packing a lot of a punch when it first comes out. Battlefield 6 is going to be listening to its players, unlike Call of Duty. So, therefore, I think Battlefield 6 is going to be the hot ticket for the next 6 to 8 months. However, without a DLC, and I'm pretty sure they got one up their sleeve, when the next Call of Duty comes out, it might see a dip, but it'll rebound once again. I don't play these first person shooters. It's not my cup of tea. Everybody here knows if you're here for Thirsty Thursday, you know what my cup of tea is. Grand Theft Auto 5 and Starfield, baby. It ain't Battlefield, that's for sure. It's not Call of Duty. All right, so a lot of news coming out about Xbox. A lot of interesting news came out about Xbox. This is probably about 3 or 4 hours old, but at the time it was like 25 minutes out or an hour out or something like that. Uh, I have seen this now on, and I'm getting it from Game Rant. I also seen it on IGN, and I seen Game Rant put it on their Facebook page. A former Blizzard boss is saying that the Xbox consoles are dead. If you have watched the Nomad Gamers for any more than 2 episodes, you will know that Fireball, myself, and Kaiser Chungus, when he was with us, have talked about the console wars in great length. And at that time, we said Xbox was kicking the shit out of PlayStation. At the time, they were, folks. At the time of this recording, they're no longer. At the time of this recording, and I should have bet people, but I didn't. Xbox, with 2 price hikes, its sales are still plummeting in 2025. It's been the weakest in years. And I'm just going to read a couple of excerpts from this, and we'll comment a little bit more on it. If you have a comment, go ahead and send that comment. I will see it, and I'll stop and I'll answer your question or make a comment on it. Microsoft's current gen consoles, the Series XS, were well positioned for success back in 2020, thanks to Xbox's then growing cadre of first party studios. Remember the first party studio part. Competitive pricing, and of course, the excellent value proposition of Game Pass. I reported on Game Pass last week. If you want to know my thoughts on that, go to last week's episode. However, here's the kicker. However, the PS5 managed to largely retain the positive momentum of the PS4, even without the uptick in games. And as such, remains the highest selling current gen system at over 80.3 million units sold. Meanwhile, demand for Xbox's consoles is so low that Microsoft has been reporting declining Series XS sales quarter over quarter for well over a year now. Microsoft has even been, and here's the big part. Here is the kicker of it all. Microsoft has even been porting Xbox games to PS5, which can be construed as inadvertently waving the white flag in the console war. Whew, that is a lot to take in. There's a lot to take in. So let's break this down just a little bit, okay? We've known for a while that the XS and the Xbox has been declining. What we did not know on Nomad Gamers, what we did not know on Talking Tuesday, was the overwhelming success of sales for the PlayStation. while PlayStation has been staying steady. And I think we said something like this during our 2 or 3 episodes of Console Wars. Microsoft was out there gobbling up these developers. And I forget who, I have to go back and watch that episode again. But they said maybe Xbox is just going to get into publishing games and away from consoles. That is looking more and more like what's going to happen. This is huge because for those of us who thought that Microsoft was going to take off with the market, PlayStation started laughing and said, "Ha ha, not so fast," and that's what they did. Mike Yarbrough or Wybera believes Xbox hardware is dead and the brand is confused. Let's dive into this together. Sony announced last year that at 106 billion occurred, the PS5 is the most profitable console generation in the company's history. At the Tokyo Game Show 2025, Sony doubled down on the notion and provided an updated figure of 136 billion. Former Blizzard president Mike Wybera recently took to Twitter to congratulate Sony on the achievement, stating, "But hey, the console market isn't a successful business. It is if you do it right. This is assumably a jab at those who believe dedicated home consoles are antiquated and unaligned with where the game industry is headed." Someone replied to the tweet calling Wybera a bitter X, referring to his prior employment at Microsoft, to which he bluntly responded, "Your console is dead." Though Wybera didn't explicitly mention Xbox in his reply, the inference is pretty clear given that both Sony and Nintendo are selling console hardware like hotcakes. In a separate reply, Wybera also took a dig at the "Everything is an Xbox" market campaign, stating that it signals a confused brand. Wybera left Blizzard in early 2024, mere months after the company was acquired by Microsoft as part of the ABK deal. I didn't like that deal either, and has since been rather vocal in his criticism of the platform holder. Just last week, Wybera lambasted Microsoft for the second round of Xbox price hikes and implied that the tech giant leveled them to increase profit margins rather than them being a consequence of tariffs. Wow, that was a lot. And I don't even know if I'm going to get to the big news. Uh, he is an ex employee of Blizzard. I guess he'd be an ex employee of Microsoft too. He was only there a few months before he resigned. Uh, but you know what? He's right. Everything I agree with everything he's saying. The tax hike or the price hike isn't because of tariffs. It's because of greed. Let's call a spade here. It's greed. Ain't no damn way the excess is worth 600 goddamn dollars. Get out of here with that. It's not even latest gen. And when I say latest gen, that means a brand new generation coming out. We've already had it. Microsoft, you're being greedy. And talking about being greedy, another part of Xbox, I might add, Microsoft Rewards may be losing one of its best perks. There's rumors out there, and this was published 6 hours ago over on Game Rant, that the Microsoft Rewards may be losing one of its nicest perks in an upcoming update to the service, with fans losing the ability to use points to subscribe to Game Pass. Microsoft's reward program gives players an incentive for spending money and playing on Xbox, allowing fans to claim everything from digital gift cards to premium memberships. Xbox gamers can pick up some particularly nice incentives through the service with gift cards and Game Pass subscriptions available through the service. Now, Microsoft Rewards may be making one of its most popular perks a bit harder to pick up. That's garbage. Again, it's pure greed. You want them to spend money on games. You want them to spend money on in-app purchases or in-game purchases, but you want them to do it through the Xbox portal, Xbox Game Pass, the Xbox Store. I don't know what the fuck they call it, but they want you going through Xbox. So before you could use your rewards to get the membership, to spend more money on other things. Now they want you to pay for the membership and then go pay for all this extra shit that you want. And notice how I said want, not need. Want. Xbox, you're getting fucking greedy out there. Xbox Game Pass has stood as one of the pinnacles of the game subscription services since it first launched in late 2017. It's not bad. Xbox has helped to pioneer the modern model for game subscription services with Game Pass, later introducing new tiers like Game Pass Ultimate and a PC version of Game Pass. The service's overwhelming success has even led other developers and studios to attempt to replicate Microsoft's success with services like Ubisoft Plus and Nintendo Switch Online, following in its footsteps. Fans of Microsoft Reward may now find getting Game Pass subscriptions through the service a bit more difficult. I remember PlayStation tried it, they started scaling their shit back. Nintendo does it, it's a pretty good service. I've had Game Pass now for the last couple months. I think it could be better, but it's okay. They're saying that you can no longer do it beginning October 1st. This is not confirmed. Oh, I guess it is. It is confirmed by Microsoft Rewards. Starting October 1st, you'll no longer be able to directly redeem your rewards points for Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. You need to first get redeem it for an Xbox gift card, then take that gift card and pay for your subscription. They just added another fucking layer. They're making you move your money from point A to point B just to go right back to fucking point A. Don't get it. All right. So if you watched Nomad Gamers last week, you would know that there's a Saudi group that is buying out EA. And I was not going to report on this. And I'm going to report very sparingly on it because I'm running out of time here. But I saw it on every website that I went to when I was researching what to talk about for Talking Tuesday. A few things stuck out in my head, and I'm going to be posting most all of these articles on Godfather here in the next couple days. So if you want to read it for yourself, either go to Game Rant, go to PC Gamer, go to any of the Gamer News, you'll find plenty of this content. So at the end of the deal, the Saudi investment group is going to be $20 billion in the hole. You heard me right. 20 billion. They're going to be using AI, hoping to drive down costs and drive up profits. I don't know how I feel about that. I know uh, Fireball, he has his thoughts on it. Crust Rider has his thoughts. I don't know how I feel about that. If AI can be used to further enhance games, I'm all for it. If AI starts fucking it up, then maybe we need a human behind the controls again. These EA employees don't know if they're going to keep their job. The key word is for them was they are not immediately making any changes, but they didn't rule out making any changes. So I don't know how I feel about this. EA has The Sims. EA has uh, Battlefield 6. EA has Madden. It has college football. The only thing it doesn't have is American baseball. It has FIFA or soccer, for those of you that don't know that. It has, I believe it has the NBA too. All that's going to be owned by a Saudi company. And it's not so much about it being a Saudi company, it's that EA is selling out. That's the part that bothers me. I forget what the price was on it or how much it was going to be. Oh, get this figure. EA strikes a 55 billion deal to go private in a Saudi-backed buyout just a week before the launch of Battlefield 6. Just a week. 55 billion. We've been telling you now for months that the gaming industry is all about making the money. That's what businesses are for. I think my business is the only one where I don't really care if I make money. Um, I'm in the minority. I do this for the love of it. Indie gamers do it for the love of it. But god damn, these are some of the biggest names games out there. Madden has had a game out since 1994, maybe 93. You had Super Techno Bowl, and then Madden came out the next year, and he's been out ever since. It was John Madden football, then they shortened it to Madden because everybody else called it Madden. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel for the employees because there's probably going to be some rough times ahead. Uh, wow. I don't know how I feel about it. I will be posting all of uh I will be posting all these articles soon. I just don't know what to think about it. Some of the most iconic companies are selling out. And I kind of got thrown off of my train of thought. I just got a report back that I might be talking to an esports team here soon. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at one of the local ones. So we will go from there, but we are completely out of time. I'm losing my train of thought. Uh, I'm kind of off my rocker right now because EA's that just irritates the shit out of me. So, just like in the words of my good friend Santiago Cirillo, your negativity cannot and will not break me. They're not your mama. They ain't your significant other. They ain't your daddy. They ain't your employer. Who cares what they think? Keep gaming. If you're out there playing a game, you run across a gamer or a griefer. Goddamn, not a gamer. If you run across a griefer and he's blown the fuck up, you blow that motherfucker up. Until tomorrow night when I'm streaming, peace and love.